Okay, so I have played Resident Evil pretty much since it came out. A buddy of mine got it on launch day for the PlayStation, the original PlayStation, and a couple days later I had seen him play it, and I was like, fuck, I gotta play this. So I grabbed it, and I loved it. I loved every minute of it. The controls were very odd. It made the game unnecessarily difficult. Never ever played 2 or 3, believe it or not. It was just the timing was weird with where I was in my life. I'd gone into the Marines and stuff, so I just wasn't keeping as up on video games as I should have. Came back to the series with the Resident Evil 4 release on PlayStation 2, which I thought was just perfect. The controls were exactly what they needed to be. The gameplay was solid, what have you. And when I finally got around to buying a GameCube a couple years ago, Resident Evil and Resident Evil Zero were top of my list of things to get because I had heard so many good things about those remakes on that respective console. Um, I wasn't terribly impressed with them. I thought they were great updates for the time that they came out. Certainly a huge upgrade from the PlayStation original Resident Evil, and Resident Evil Zero was very cool. But I always hated tank controls, and I know that purists are going to hate me for that. I think tank controls are we're way past them. They were great at the time. Now they're completely useless. And so when I heard that the new Resident Evil, remake remaster, as it's lovingly referred to, was going to have more traditional control scheme, I was really, really excited. Um, what you're watching is footage of me the first time I booted the game. I just finished. This is a true first impressions video. Um, and I realize that you're just remaking and remastering existing code. The loading screens are just, I mean, you can only pay so much homage to something before it becomes unnecessary. You're on a PS4. You got 8 gigs of fucking RAM. Use it. There's no reason to have load screens like this in today's day and age. None. And it doesn't tug at my heartstrings when I see a load screen like this at all. Um, the voice acting's better than it was even in the remake, from what I can remember. The graphics look great. The character animations are what I expected, which is very true to the original and the remake. But the control scheme, although touting to be updated, it isn't. I can't even use the triggers to aim. One of my favorite things about the DualShock 4 is my ability to use triggers like triggers. I can't even do that here. Uh, it's not that the control scheme is so awful to begin with, but there were certain things I wanted to be able to do, and there's a ton of presets, which is great, but none of them make sense to me. Granted, maybe I'm just not as much of a purist as some people. Maybe I'm just not thinking my way through the game properly. I don't know. The touchpad isn't being used at all. At all. Which seems like a huge wasted opportunity. Um, I paid $20 for this thing, and I'll be lucky to play through it. The controls, you can see me wrestling with them here, because I'm just trying to figure out like what. Because briefly tried the tank controls to see if I'd screwed something up, and no, I got it right. And you move and turn on the one stick, and the other stick is for 180s, which at the time made sense, and there's some shortcuts there and what have you, but um, I cannot for the life of me figure out why it was such a sin to allow me to do turns and moving with 2 sticks or whatever. It's going to take some getting used to. I will probably get into the game. I'm probably just being grumpy. And also, what you're going to see here momentarily is, my first death in the game. You actually get a trophy for it. Just get used to it. And it happens every single time I start this game over again. I got to get used to the knife structure and everything else. It took me about 4 swipes before I realized that I had to actually hit down to target his head. Games are supposed to be power fantasies on some level, or an experience fantasy on some level. You cannot tell me that a Special Forces agent like Chris Redfield doesn't instinctively know to take a downed opponent and hit him in the head. I don't understand. Um, it's just frustrating. I'm gonna come off as someone who's, excuse me, I'm gonna come across as someone who's whining, and I'm okay with that because I am. I absolutely am whining about this because nostalgia is a horrible thing. Uh, Rose-colored glasses, the whole bit. I loved this game when it came out, and I just don't like it anymore. The control scheme kills everything about this game that I can get past. Loading screens wouldn't bother me that much. Um, just these controls are just nearly unusable. And I have friends who have played through this a couple times already since it released, like last week. And power to them. Okay, maybe I'm just too used to standardized controls from today's day and age. Maybe I'm just too set in my ways. And I'll admit to that, okay? Um, but if you're going, here's my entire point. If you leave the tank controls in, that's fine. Right? People want that, and I appreciate and respect that. But if you're going to update the controls, update them to something that makes sense to everybody else that might want to play the game again that doesn't want to be tethered to that kind of control scheme. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me right now. And as I'm making this video, honestly, the only reason I'm making this video is because I just don't want to play the game again. I closed it. I probably will play the game again. I probably will get a little bit further, and I probably will be a lot more forgiving of it in that time. But right now, I'm starting to wish I had that $20. I could have put that towards something else. But that's my first impression. The game is as frustrating as ever, looks better than it ever has, but ultimately, I don't think it's worth $20, man. I really don't. I rather would have saved my bones and taken a chance and rolled the dice on Resident Evil Revelations 2. That's my thoughts. Tell me what you think. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And as always, keep on grinding. Cheers.